Hi, and welcome back. My name is Ash, and I am talking a little bit about the medication I'm currently on, Zepbound. And this is going to be a rundown of weeks 13 and 14 on the medication. So I'll just tell you a bit about how it went. I know that it's been a minute. I kind of forgot to record the last week, so now here I am recording this week. But we'll go over 13 first. 13 was just about the same, except I think in week 12, I kind of talked to you about how like there was a period where I felt like a little off, like not quite faint, and then I ate and I was fine. That feeling appeared kind of in week 13. So once it happened again, I just felt like it was a little odd. So I just started tracking my blood pressure throughout that week. And I noticed like, oh, okay, it's it's low, but not lower than it has been. But as the week passed by, it dropped lower, and it dropped lower than I had seen it in a long time. I mean, as long as I've been tracking. At this point, it's been years since I've been tracking my blood pressure, so maybe roughly three years. So it had been the lowest that I had seen it. So that was week 13 basically, and I kind of was fighting a lot of feelings, not feeling very well, which I thought was a medication, but it was not the medication. It was not. No, 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 no. It was my blood pressure. There was stuff going on with my blood pressure. So I am on a blood pressure medication as well as this medication. My blood pressure medication it's a diuretic basically. It's a water pill. It just like helps flush things through. But when I noticed that was happening and it was on a trend down, and basically it had hit a new trend, new lower trend going into week 14, and it was like the top number was definitely below 100. And so I was like, I should definitely contact my doctor because I have not seen that before. So I did going into week 14, and the trend there was just to stop taking my blood pressure medication. So stop taking that diuretic. And that week 14 was just about kind of watching my blood pressure. That was the thing, to kind of see where it was since I had stopped taking it. As far as the internet tells me, with the type of medication that I'm taking, diuretics, it takes about 3.5 days. Like that's the half life of the medication. So I knew like after 3.5 days, like I should be able to start trusting the blood pressure readings that I was getting. Not that I couldn't trust it the day after, but it was just like there's still some of the medication in my system is still doing its thing. Well, something else that I did notice, and this gets into the weigh in, which we'll kind of talk about a little bit later. So week 14, just not taking my blood pressure medicine. That was like the trend that we were doing, which is good. It's good that I can be off of my blood pressure medication. So that's a result to me of the work I put in and the aid this medication can give me. And it's also very interesting that it didn't take much loss in order for me to be able to come off of my medication. I mean, at that point, week 12, I had only lost 21 pounds or something like that. That's not a lot in the grand scheme of things. But then I went back and I did it, basically found the percentage it would be of my starting weight. And that was like 9.8. We'll give it around 10. That's 10% of my starting weight. And I remember when I first started my blood pressure medicine and doing a lot of like lifestyle modifications, the thing that was mentioned to me was even a 5% reduction in weight will lower your blood pressure. So me losing 10% of my starting weight was a big deal in terms of helping lower it, as well as the other things that I had been doing. Because I'm pretty sure if I wasn't doing those other things on top of losing weight, I wouldn't have been able to make the shift so quickly. So in ways, I'm grateful for what I put in, but I'm also grateful that I have this tool that I can use to help me reach my goal. But I do feel like I have a lot of feelings of like, maybe I shouldn't count this. I'm on this medicine. So, it's just, this is helping me do this and this is why. And I think I have to just remind myself that I'm doing a lot of things too to help my health. So I need to give myself credit where it's due. I'm really grateful. This is a goal that I've had for over 3 years, and I didn't know if I'd be able to reach it. Even before I started this medicine on my own, I was able to reduce the amount of blood pressure medicine that I was taking because I had dropped weight. It had just been a difficult year last year, and so I just kind of stopped. I had to have surgery. I was having other health things happen. And so the focus wasn't necessarily on weight. It was on keeping myself kind of afloat mentally and health wise in the state that I was currently in, kind of like freezing for the moment because there was so much happening in my life, health wise, personal wise, that I didn't want to put too much pressure on myself because weight loss is very it's a shift and it's very intensive. And I don't know, maybe it's not like that for everyone, but that's what I can say for me. It's like it's kind of a very all encompassing thing that you have to do. But I'm grateful that I'm at the spot where I can finally reach a goal that I've been working on for a long time. But yeah, but something that I did notice, which we'll shift into the next thing. But you know what? Let's take a break. Let's take a break. Let's get a little drink. Ooh, got my Waterloo. Can you see it? Raspberry nectarine. Ooh. Okay. Oh yeah. That's hidden. That's hidden. This sparkling water has been hidden. I don't know. It's just a new like thing I get to do for fun. Can you hear it? It's bubbles. I just like trying different flavors, so it's fun. Okay, well, now that that's done, let's get into the whole thing with the weight and yada yada yada. I didn't take any measurements, so I'm just going to do it basically on weight. You know, the good news is that I did have a non-scale victory technically over the past few weeks, so I actually pat myself on the back for that. The bad news is that I did gain weight, and I mean, right now I'm close to 5 pounds of weight gain, which feels like a lot in I don't know. We'll say it's a 2 week span from when I documented the weight. But the reality of the situation is that it's really since I stopped taking my blood pressure medicine. I just noticed I've been gaining weight each day, which is very odd because as far as I can see, my weight usually tracks like this. Like I'll gain, then I'll lose, and I'll gain, then I'll lose, and I'll gain, then I'll lose. You know, it was like a steady increase each day, up, 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 up. So right now, I'm supposed to track my blood pressure, without being on the medicine for a week. And I'm supposed to contact my doctor back. So when I contact my doctor back in week 15, we'll kind of see how things go and what my doctor says because it is kind of odd that I would be gaining weight. Now, I think I know what it is. I think it's just coming off of the diuretic. My body is now retaining water and it's trying to get used to what it's going to feel like being off the medicine. But I am a little concerned at the rate of weight gain. I just don't know if like 5 pounds and maybe like 5 or 6 days is really good. But I do think it's water weight because in that same sense, when I noticed my weight was going up, I did this thing where I tracked what I ate for a certain amount of days and it wasn't anything to write home about. It's not like I was eating 3,500 calories a day. No, not even half of that. No, no, I was eating a decent amount on the grand scheme of things for someone who was trying to lose weight, but I knew that wasn't it. It wasn't me eating, though I still feel a little bit of, that odd guilt about weight gain and yada yada. But it is kind of discouraging. But I think I'm just going to talk to my doctor in week 15 and we're going to take it from there. We're going to take a look at my readings, my blood pressure, and all that stuff. And we're just going to move forward and see where that takes us. So I'm trying not to get too in my own head about it. I'm trying to get out of my head and focus on what's in front of me and trust what I'm doing and some conversations that I'm going to have with my doctor and all that stuff. So I did feel I haven't been feeling like too well either, but I'm pretty sure that's just a result of coming off the medicine and like my blood pressure and trying to like my body trying to find its new equilibrium. But not bad. But yesterday I've been tracking every day. So we'll say yesterday my blood pressure was 107 over 74, which is really good for someone who has been on who's had high blood pressure and been medicated for several years. So that's a win. I'm off high blood pressure. That's my off high blood pressure reading, and it's been over 3.5 days. So that's my weight. That's the pressure that I have. So I'm really happy about that. But I just need to get out of my own head and try to make myself feel bad and just kind of move forward. But other than that, that's pretty much it. But I did want to show my Lego flowers that I have. Look pretty. Yeah, this is a daisy bouquet or something like that. I don't remember the name of it, but it's really fun. It's like a really inexpensive way to just have fun with Legos. It was like $15 at the most. Not the vase. It doesn't come with the vase, but the flowers. Now I mixed it with something else that I had, so it was fun. Yeah. But other than that, that's where I am right now. That's the update. That's it. We'll see how next week goes. We'll see if I can stay off my medicine given my current results of blood pressure readings for the past week. We'll see what my doctor says about the weight gain, if that's something I should be concerned about, or maybe it's fine. I'm trying not to overthink it, but we'll see if I can get out of my own head. We'll see. Lots of we'll see. That's it though. See you later. Thanks for watching.